Okay. The 10th of August, Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
Right. Actually, I'm not sure. Yeah, we have to do the mechaber there at the very end. Now, again, we've been discussing here in Simon Tov Fresh Mem Test that the lulav and adasim, arabos, and esrog that a person has for his daled minim on sukkahs, they have to be lechem. That means they have to be of yours. They can't, in other words, be borrowed, and that includes also the question of theft. If the person had stolen these items, he won't be able to use them and fulfill his mitzvah because they're not considered to be his, except under certain circumstances. And we mentioned about yish and shinui shame, shinui rishus, shinui maisa. And this all applies, as the Machaber said at the very end, on the except on Yom Rishon, except for the first day, that these restrictions apply. The first day, because it has to be lechem. The rest of the days of Sukkot, they don't have to be. It doesn't have to be lechem. So a person would be fulfilled the cherim kosher b'shar yamim chutz yom rishon. That's the very end of the mechaber there. If you see that, right? I will cherim for other people, right? To use these stolen items, they would be kosher on the rest of the days of Sukkot, except for the first day. So let's take a look. We'll start with the mechaber here, the Mishnah Berurah here in Sif Katan Ches.
Okay. Katan Chet.
Yeah.
Tet.
Chutz miyom rishon. Chet. But there it's in a.
But we're in Tough Reish Mem Tet.
Yes.
I see Tet. I don't see Chet.
And
Oh,
that's
Chutz miyom. Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, there you go. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Mary, would you like to read?
Okay, so it says, let's see. Chutz miyom rishon. Hine my demachmiranan legabe acherim. Korchach arei lifnei yeish. So what's this is except for the first day.
Right.
Just want to see. Oh, so the other days you could use a borrowed or stolen lulav.
Right.
Okay,
Stolen?
so
Use a stolen one?
Yes. Don't forget, this is referring to the first. The rest of the other people can use it on the rest of the days of Sukkot, but on the first day not. Mr. Berura explain.
But I thought there was a principle you can't do a mitzvah through an avera.
That's when it's coming. That's when it's coming at the same time. But that's what the Mr. Berura discussed previously. If this theft and his fulfillment of the mitzvah are coming at the same time, then that's what we call mitzvah of avera. But here the avera has been done already. It's already been stolen. Now it's simply considered to be stolen merchandise. There's not necessarily an avera in using stolen merchandise. So therefore, that rule doesn't apply in this instance. Right. That's why it's dependent on the fact that you need lechem. If it wasn't for that lechem, you could in theory be yotzi with it, because there's no sin, transgression taking place at the time when you're using the lulav and the esrog and harabas and the das.
okay. Chris, if it was stolen, one might not know it anyway. I mean, borrowed is more obvious because you're asking someone, can I use your etrog and lulav?
Right.
But stolen, you wouldn't know necessarily.
The question if the person knows or not, that's another point to consider, whether he knows it's stolen.
Okay, so what it here says, why are we so strict concerning others?
Yeah, why are we strict for other people? Afterwards, they didn't steal it, right?
Right, yeah, that was my thing. And he might not, like he said, he might not even know. What even before there's hopelessness, I guess, concerning it.
Right.
Okay. Oh, vilachem, and it has to be, and for you, it's yours. Okay. Amar Rachmana v'chai lav didahu who. What's this? The ihaya yeush mikodem. Im kein slam have le yeush v'shinui reshut. Okay, so what's it says? So Rachmana, that's Hashem said.
Yeah, that's a reference to or the Torah, right?
Oh, the Torah says, okay. The high lovely day. And why isn't it that if there's Yeush beforehand, or there's hopelessness beforehand, Im Kein Slam Havele Yeush B'Shinui Reshut, that therefore it's Lam.
In terms of the other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the other people, the ones who didn't steal it, they're just getting the
ones that
merchandise
didn't
stolen.
steal it. Oh, okay. Havele that there wasn't hopelessness and there wasn't a change of possession. Okay. The Kinyan Gamur, who etzlam vilachem krinan. Okay. And Kinyan, but the complete transaction is by vilachem, as we read.
That the Kori Lechem, it's referring, we refer to it as the Chem, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's referring to him the Kenyan Gomer who etzlam, meaning they acquired it openly. So the Chem Karim Bay, and it's considered to be theirs. It's considered to be theirs.
Oh.
It is Lechem. So according to them, according for these people, it is Lechem.
Uh-huh. Okay. Let's see. V'afilu hachi bishar hayamim la'acherim sharai. So even on the rest of the days, it's permitted for the others. They could use someone else's, I guess. Okay. The sivira lehu lechayesh omrim de lo shayach mitzvah haba ba'avera l'gabei acherim. Okay, so as it's explained, lehu, I guess this, that they say if it doesn't, it's not a mitzvah that comes by an avera, I guess. By others.
Again, this is addressing your question, Lou, right? For the other people, it's not considered an mitzvah bar avera, right? Why?
Okay. Shehem lo Gizaluhu, because they didn't steal it.
They didn't steal it. So therefore, it's not considered a mitzvah vera for them.
So ignorance is bliss.
In this case, yeah. That's okay. Sometimes it's an advantage.
So whether he knew it or not, then it doesn't matter.
Right. Right.
I mean, I would think it, personally, I would think if someone's using a stolen etrog and lulav, they wouldn't announce it, to the congregation, to people or whatever.
What if he solicited the thief?
That's something else. That if he's a fence for the thief, that's a separate issue. Yeah, that's more serious.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Okay, v'ayin b'magen Avraham shehevi b'shem ha-milchamot shecholech al zeh v'dato da'af l'gabei acherim shehem lo gizaluhu. So let's see, what's all this? And according to the Magen Avraham, what if he brings it for the wars? Milchamot?
That's a safer, right? The shame.
B'shem ha-milchamot.
Brings in the name of the milchamos. He argues on this.
Oh, okay. So he argues on this, and his opinion, the Afgave Acherim are like the others, that they are not. It's not stolen.
With Daito, in his opinion, is the Aflagabi Acherim, even according to other people, right? Shehem lo gazlu, that the other people who did not steal this.
Oh, they did not steal it. Afilu hachen kevan the hachafetz lo nikna eslam. Okay, so even when they wanted to, they didn't acquire it for themselves.
Lo kana etzlam, the klevitz lo kana etzlam. That even though since the object was not acquired by them, why?
Okay.
Because he's saying this is before Yush.
Ah, okay. So it's before Gazel Tachat Yadam, who? And the thief. I'm not sure. Tachat Yadam was under their hands. Gazel Tachat Yadam.
Meaning, it is the gezel, meaning the object which is stolen is in their possession.
Oh, it's in their possession.
Yada means in their possession. That's another way of saying it's in their possession.
Oh, okay.
So since it's before Yish, so whose object it is, it still belongs to the owner, the rightful owner, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's still considered as if the object is a stolen object, and with even though it's in their physical possession, it's still considered someone else's object, which is in their possession.
Okay. Shayach Gabayhu Gam Kain Mitzvah Haba Berura Ve'enan Yotzim Bo. Okay, so it's therefore it's still a mitzvah that's done through an avera, and therefore he hasn't fulfilled the mitzvah. Okay. V'alkein got Magen Avraham shelo lahakel bazeh. According to the Magen Avraham, we can't be lenient with this. Aval be'eliyah Rabbah katav sheyesh lismoch lahakel kahayesh omrim. But the Eliyah Rabbah wrote that there's support to be leniency for what was said.
Right. So even though the Magen Avraham is being strict about this, the Eli Rab is saying there are situations where you can be lenient about this.
Okay. Okay. Da'af leganav ulegazlan atzmo. Gatama poskim she sovrim b'sha'ar yamim yotzei bahem. That what even the thief or the robber, I guess, himself. Okay. .com poskim, according to the opinion of the poskim, shesovrim ubishar. Not your sovrim.
But they are the opinion.
Oh, the opinion for the other days, they would be Yotze, I guess.
Right.
Okay. I'll call Panim Yesh Lismoch Aliyah Eliyahu
Right. Eliyahu.
Gabai Acharini.
Meaning you can, nevertheless, yesh tismoch alai, you can rely on these lenient opinions, gabi acherim, in relation to other people.
Oh, okay. V'gam hagroa b've'uro k'mashma shemitzaded l'halacha k'hayesh mi she'omer. So the Gra, in his explanation, mashma mitzadei l'halacha. But it's according to the halacha.
Right, that he is, it's what it says, V'gam Gra, also the Vilna Gaon in his comments on Shulchan Aruch, the Berura, and his comments on Shulchan Aruch, mashma, you can infer from his words, that he's leaning toward mitzaded. He's leaning towards the halacha kishiyesh misha omer, like that quote, that opinion of the yesh misha omer.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, good. Mihu Zehu Rach le'inyan latzeipo aval levarech alav. What's Mihu? One who calls the
Mihu, right? Calls however, Mihu, however, calls all this is who rak le'inyan latzeipo. That's all in order to fulfill your mitzvah. But to make a bracha on it.
Oh, okay. Gam lahagra asur levarech alav. Also, the Gra prohibits making a bracha on it. Okay. The ha'afilu heicha the have yeyush v'shinui reshut asur levarech k'moshe katavnu mikodem v'chol shechein bazeh. Okay, so the ha'afilu. What, that even? even if there is yayush and a change of possession, it's forbidden to make the blessing, as it's
That's
written
right.
before, v'chein shechein b'zeh, and what? Therefore, this is the halacha.
Koshikin, even more so in this case.
Oh, okay. Very good. Okay. So it looks like Tet is in the Haggah.
I think so. So maybe let's return back to the read the Haggah. Maybe I'll just a chance to have read the Haggah, maybe.
Okay, Haggah. Okay, he says, "Umishum ze yesh lizaher shelo yikatzetz haYisrael biatzmo echad me'arba minim shebelulav litzorech lulav." Okay, so let's see. And because what there should be care that one does not kotzetz. Kotzetz is jump.
No, not
Kotzetz haYisrael.
yeah, but I mean that means to cut it. Meaning when he's going now, the Ramah is picking up. Let's say a person wants to go and cut off a lula from the tree or an esrog from the tree. So it's a question if this land that it's growing on is the real owners or not. Maybe this land has been stolen. We'll see more.
Oh, so when he cuts a lulav, he has to know who owns the land. Okay. That's interesting. Wow. Okay. So let's see. Yisrael kotzetz biatzmo echad kimei arba minim shebululav litzorech lulavo. Okay. So that the echad mei arba, that one of the arba minim of the lulav needs to be his. Is that what it's saying?
Right.
Okay. Okay, so one of the minim needs to be his. Okay, and then it goes on. Dekarcheina nigzelet ustam akum. So hold it. Dekarka is the land.
Right. Now it's referring. This is another point that really land theoretically is not. You can't really steal land because theft really means that you're taking theft and robbery. Gezel Genev actually means that you have to take it, the object, out of the domain, the possession of the one that it's being stolen from. So land is not in. You can't pick up and move land into another locality. So it's already remains in its status quo, physically being there, and therefore it's not considered to be really a stealable item.
Ustam akum goes lay karkahin. But a Gentile, you can steal, the land can be stolen, or it can be considered stolen.
What do you mean by considered stolen?
Well, it says, we just said that land can't be stolen.
Right.
Then it says ustam, but in general, akum, the non-Jews, goes lay karkahem, they steal land.
Right. So basically, what that means is they're like basically they're trespassing. So even though the land remains in its status quo, but since there are trespassers there and they're even possessing the land, so that's going to be considered land which is theoretically stolen.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. So Karkahem, okay. Yeah, go, yeah, because Layla Liado, so it becomes stolen. Ella Yikatzenu Akum V'yiknemehem.
Right. So therefore, since the ground by which these four species are growing on could very well be considered to be stolen land. So therefore, the Jew should not cut them off the land, rather the non-Jew should cut them off the land.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So if the non-Jew cuts it off the land, it's not considered stolen then?
If the non-Jew can, so what's going to happen is the act of theft is going to be taking place at the time when it's cut off, and then when the Jew will buy it from the non-Jew, there's going to be that shinui rishus.
Ah, okay. And let's see, it still goes on. It says, V'ein chiluk bazeh ben Eretz Yisrael o chutza la'aretz. So this decision doesn't matter whether it's in Israel or outside of Israel.
Right.
Okay, lulav agado akum ve'asao kasher kemo sukat akum. That's interesting. So the lulav that's assembled, I guess, by a non-Jew, he makes it, is okay. Just like a sukkah, I guess, that's made by a non-Jew.
Right.
Oh, that's really interesting. Huh. Okay, so yeah, we had, when we lived in the States, the first year we owned a house, my wife had a colleague at work who's very good at carpentry,
Okay.
but he was a non-Jew. So he told me what to get. So I bought all the items I needed to build the sukkah. And basically I helped him build the sukkah.
Okay.
So I guess that would have been okay.
Yeah, that would have been okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see more about we're going to see the Mishna Brews on this tomorrow. So we'll get a little bit more insight into the mechanics of what's going on here.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Yashikayach then.
Thank you. Have a
Okay.
wonderful.
Good reading, Mayor.
Well, I struggled through it, but I did it.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you,
Okay,
Mayor.
see
See you all
you
tomorrow, Mitzvah Shem.
Amen.